Alright, it's Barry, and today I've got my 5 favourite sweet pea varieties that you can sow now for some brilliantly colourful summer and autumn flowers. Sweet peas are known by the Latin name Lathyrus odoratus, which is the Lathyrus genus consisting of hundreds of different varieties with an enormous diversity of colours and scents. The Lathyrus genus is part of the Fabaceae family, along with other leguminous plants such as garden peas and broad beans, although you definitely can't eat these peas, which I'll go into a bit more shortly. Sweet peas are annual climbing plants growing to heights of 1 to 2 metres tall, and they're perfect for growing up arches, trellising, fences, or even other taller plants like sunflowers. While sweet peas are usually purple, but through selective breeding we now have absolutely loads of different coloured varieties. I think one of the best parts of growing sweet peas is that you can choose your favourite coloured varieties to grow, and then at the end of the year you can collect all of the seeds from your plants really easily for growing next year. But you have the extra element of surprise, since if you're growing multiple varieties of sweet peas, maybe someone else is growing some nearby, you're going to get cross-pollination between all of those varieties, leading to new colour combinations and vibrancies in the colour in next year's flowers. They also come with the advantage of having quite versatile sowing options. You can sow them later in the year for flowering the following spring, sow them in late winter or early spring for flowers in summer, or even sow them in early summer for flowers in autumn. So there's always a perfect time to start growing them. If you'd like to give growing sweet peas a go this year, but you're not sure where to start, check out my quick guide for sowing sweet peas, which I'll leave a link to in the description. So as I mentioned earlier, sweet pea seeds are toxic if you eat enough of them, and they don't taste as good as green peas either, but they can look very similar when they're fresh, and sweet pea seeds form in pods just like edible peas, and they're usually green, yellow or brown before turning black as they mature and dry. That means that it's probably a good idea to grow your floral sweet peas in a different bed or area to your edible garden peas. But don't worry, you do need to eat quite a lot of sweet pea seeds before you start experiencing any symptoms, which for reference includes your skin losing elasticity and going loose. It's probably just better not to eat any though. So let's get on with it, and I've got my 5 favourite sweet pea varieties that are perfect to start sowing straight away. Lathyrus odoratus fire and ice is what's known as a grandiflora sweet pea, which is producing loads and loads of deep coloured, highly contrasting flowers in dark pink and purpley blue. They also produce a strong fragrance, which you definitely notice in the summer. Fire and ice grow up to 1.8 metres tall with a spread of 30 centimetres, which makes them great for growing up trellising and walls with a bit of netting for support. It's worth noting that these aren't pet friendly, and they have been reported to be toxic to cats, dogs and horses, just like the other ones, but they are perfectly safe for humans and birds as long as you don't eat too many, like I said before. In fact, don't eat any. Lathyrus odoratus almost black is another grandiflora sweet pea variety. Just like fire and ice, it produces tons of highly scented dark maroon flowers throughout the summer flowering season. The dark maroon flowers are so dark that they look almost black, which is probably, as you guessed, where the name comes from. And these grow up to 2 metres tall, so slightly taller than fire and ice, which with a bit of training makes them a perfect addition to add some contrasting dark flowers to a sweet pea display. I always like to make a note of the heights that the flowers often grow to, as it lets you maximise vertical growing space by picking varieties that fill in different heights. Bristol sweet peas are a vigorous climbing variety, so these are ideal for quickly filling trellising with pale purple flowers in the summer. Bristol sweet peas can grow up to 2.5 metres tall, so they're one of the taller varieties, and they can grow to a width of 0.5 metre. Bristol sweet peas also have the RHS Award of Garden Merit, which means that they've been rigorously tested by experts to certify their consistency and performance in the garden. Early Mammoth sweet peas are one of the most common and easy to find seed varieties. They produce extra large flowers with around 5 or 6 flowers per stem. These usually produce mixed colours with red, pink, purple and white flowers, and they grow to a height of around 1.5 metre tall, making them a great choice for growing up fences or filling in the lower part of a tall trellis or wall. The large flowers make these an ideal variety to grow in the greenhouse for cutting in spring to make strong smelling indoor flower arrangements too. And finally we've got Heaven Sent, which is a sweet pea with super strong smelling flowers. It produces extra large flowers and long straight stems, which are also ideal for cutting and making your arrangements. Heaven Sent are perfect for training to grow up structures, but it's worth mixing them up with another variety, as they do tend to produce most of the salmon pink or pastel purple or white flowers towards the end of the stems, while the smaller flowering varieties can be used to fill in the lower parts of the display and hide the less nice looking parts of the plant, like all the stems and everything. Heaven Sent grow up to 2.2 metres tall and flower between May and August, which makes them perfect for filling in the highest parts of a summer archway or a wall display. And I grew loads of Heaven Sent sweet peas up my arch and my sunflowers last year, and they flowered for absolutely ages and ages. I've I've got some of them left for this year, along with the seeds that I collected from the plants in the autumn that I mentioned earlier. So that's 5 great sweet pea varieties that I really like, all with their own different characteristics and colours. And that's just 5 out of over 100 varieties, so there's different colours and sizes for use in any location. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell symbol for a new video every Tuesday, and start your gardening weekend off with my seed of the week every Saturday morning with a new seed that you can start sowing straight away. Let me know in the comment section if you have a favourite sweet pea variety, or if this year will be the first time that you start growing them. And before it gets too dark, I'll see you next time.